મારા નામની સર્વ માયા આપ પ્રગટ પરમાત્મા સ્વરૂપ પ્રભુના સુચરણોમાં સમર્પણ કરું છું. હું ચૈતન્ય ઘન સ્વરૂપી એવો શુદ્ધ
सच्चिदानंद दीपकानंद जी.
Jai Satchidanand.
I'm on YouTube, okay?
વસંગ છું.
What?
On YouTube.
વિધિ આવે છે એટલે.
Jai Satchidanand.
Okay. Jai Satchidanand. Pulinanandji Deepakanandji.
Jai Satchidanand.
Okay. Pulinanandji mantra, please. Recite the mantra.
Namo Vitragaय.
નમો વિતરાગાય.
Namo Varihantanam.
નમો હરિહંતાણમ.
Namo Siddhanam.
નમો સિદ્ધાણમ.
Namo Ayariyanam.
નમો આયરિયાણમ.
Namo Vajrayanam.
નમો વજ્રયાણમ.
Namo Loe Sawa Sahunam.
નમો લોય સવ સાહુણમ.
Eso Panchana Mukkaro.
એસો પંચનમસ્કારો.
Sauvapavappanasano.
સવપાવપણાસનો.
Manglanancha Sabvesim.
મંગલાનંચ સવેસમ.
Padamam Havai Mangalam.
અડમમ
હવૈ મંગલમ.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ઓમ નમો
ઓમ નમો ભગવતે વાસુદેવાય.
Om Namah Shivaya.
ઓમ
ઓમ
નમઃ
નમઃ શિવાય.
Jai Satchidanand.
જય
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ.
Jai Satchidanand. You know, last time we talked about, we started about Kalam number 8. So, does anybody have any questions? Okay, last time Deepakanji introduced. So, Pulinanandji, why don't you talk about Kalam number 8?
Okay. So it says, Hey Dada Bhagwan, મને કોઈ પણ દેહધારી જીવાત્માનો પ્રત્યક્ષ કે પરોક્ષ, that is any living being in my presence or away from me, live or dead, avarnavad, aprad, and avinay. So avarnavad is not to describe as it is. Aprad means to intentionally do wrong or to intentionally do viradna, really speaking. And let us speak ill of spiritually elevated people. And avinay means to show disrespect. Where respect is due, with there we show disrespect. So that is avinay. And then it says not to do nor instigate others to do or not motive or support anyone doing it. So if you ask me, one of the nice things revealed by Dada Bhagwan is, while explaining this Kalam, of course, in that book also it's there, that if you know a person who has a very good reputation outside world, a person who has a good reputation in the outside world, and we intentionally break down his good reputation by talking ill of him or saying a few nasty things about him, which may be true, may not be true. So that is Avarnavad. And also, Aparad also falls slightly in that category. I know I should not be speaking of this ill of this person, but still I do it. And Avinay, the disrespect is very common, which all of us understand. Here, I think the main thing that is being driven is not to have the intention or not to have the tendency to criticize others. You know, essentially, one of the things that happens is we criticize someone behind his back, what we call backbiting also. So doing that or not to do that, hey Dada Bhagwan, oh Dada Bhagwan, give me the strength not to do that. You know, typically Avarnavad goes of talking only the negative aspect of a person. Each person has some good qualities and some shortcomings. But if we only talk about the shortcomings, so that goes into Avarnavad, which typically in local or in very colloquial or ordinary means is backbiting or talking or criticizing someone behind his back. So the other thing that is of key importance in the 8th column is that whether the person is alive or dead, in both cases we should not be doing this. And as far as a dead person goes, a person who is no more, who has passed away, we should not criticize him under any cost. As the Bhagwan says, a person who is dead, never speak ill of him. You might, because he is no more, so it's very wrong to do. Crime is not the right word. Guno keva hai. So it is very wrong to talk about ill about someone who is no more. Whatever he may be, he may have really done those wrong things. But after he has passed away, we should not be criticizing the person. Is one of the things Dada has been driving in this Kalam. So, of course, not talking even if a live person, the person is not in this room, maybe in the next room, maybe he's in the next city or in another city, maybe he's in another country, but we should not be speaking there. So, those are the essence of the eighth Kalam. And not only me, but I should not support anyone doing it also, nor instigate someone to do it. Typically, when people gather, women gather, they have a tendency to talk or criticize the person who is absent. So it's a big warning or sort of a danger mark, a red signal that the Bhagwan is showing that please be aware of these tendencies and ask for strength that you may refrain from doing these things. So by reciting this 8th Kalam, by asking for strength of this 8th Kalam, our awareness of this thing increases. So in the nature of discharge force. Whenever such a thing happens by file number 1, that it is talking ill of someone or even supporting someone, then immediately awareness pops up and he stops in the brass tacks, as we say, and then reverses also. So this is the way the eighth kalam. The essence of the eighth kalam is this much only. Yeah. Be aware of talking ill of someone, motivating someone to talk or supporting someone to talk, present or dead. That is very important, because in the absence people talk. People generally don't talk on the upfront, on the face. Absence or even dead, that is the key thing. So asking for strength, we enhance our awareness. If file number 1 happens to do this, so that it can come back and do pratikraman and wash it away. So I think this is the essence of the eighth kalam. Yes, Ajahn.
Okay. Deepakanji, you want to add?
Jai Sachidanand. It's okay. Fine.
सर्वे कल्याण मूर्ति संकीर्तधारी महा
Background में भी चाले दीपक.
Deepakanji, you have to.
Someone is going. I don't know who.
No. Vidhi is going on.
Yeah, I get it. कोई ना घर में चाले छे.
Okay. Okay. Deepakanji, you want to add something?
Although this looks like it's a very common affair that people talk like this in their absence or if they have passed away. But here Dada has pointed us very rightly the grave effect of back talking or backside talking or so behind back talking. What is it called?
Backbiting.
Yeah, backbiting. So it is like we are attacking the person directly, one way or the other. So if you are talking about happiness, that I want to be happy, and such backbiting attitude and dealing is there, just imagine how can we expect ourselves to be happy. And this is so very common, so very common. Like people just keep gossiping in absence of other people. And there is no way that someone gets alerted that, hey, I'm doing something absolutely wrong. And Dada so nicely put it as a 8th kalam, so that people become aware of that and they start correcting. See, the idea, we all have come with vices, weaknesses. We keep committing mistakes, have committed mistakes all these years, all these lives, we can say. But then there is no word of caution anywhere. Although in the worldly decor or worldly courtesy, people talk, people say that this backbiting thing is not right. Don't talk of people in their absence or like that. But still these keep going on and on and on. But with Dada's this 8th kalam, I understand that we become so much alert, we become vigilant, and we start working on that, and gradually this attitude stops within us. And in fact, I feel this is the best way to become straightforward and normal. So this is a wonderful kalam, a wonderful code of conduct, which really brings a lot of, which would bring a lot of happiness. I mean, which will bring a lot of happiness to us, because this is very common and people are not aware of it. And in fact, I believe if we start investigating our own life, then probably we'll end up that every other time we are talking about someone who is not there because we don't have guts to talk about that person in that presence. And on that face, forget it. We will never say anything. When they are there on the face, we'll try to be very nice, very courteous. This is the tragedy. What you say, the double face. And in society and human society now, that what do you call that? Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy could be considered, yes, Lalita man?
Correct. Hypocrisy is the right word.
Yeah. But then, see, it is like, I believe, as Dada Bhagwan has revealed, human society survives, family survives through heart connection, by living heartily. And Dada has said that the whole path of happiness and ultimately path of liberation is to nurture your heart, and you start living by your heart and leave the head aside. And the unfortunate thing is that we have left the head and heart aside, and we believe that by living with intelligence and such cunning way, I will say, such hypocritic way, it is very dangerous in the sense we are becoming a bad instrument to damage human society. And human society is a very divine society because, and especially Indian human society and Indian humans, man, they are meant for liberation only. Because all great people, they were born here in India, and nothing to do with India as such. It's a geographical location, and that's why the way Dada has revealed the 8 code of conduct, 8 Kalam, fantastic. And I believe everybody would have a lot to share every other time. Jai Satchidanand.
Yes.
Pulinanandji?
Yeah. While Deepakanandji was mentioning, a few thoughts came to my mind. One of the things I found when I was, or am still practicing this, all these kalams, is if you're able to catch this error, avanavad aprada vinay. So if you're able to catch this at the thought level, first the thought arises and then maybe it flows out in the form of speech. Then it does help to put into practice the head's color. I have a tendency to criticize. So what to do now? Now what to? I ask for strength, but then how do I stop, or how do I do the pursharth against it? So one of the things I found as I was practicing this, that if I'm able to catch it at thought level, first a thought will appear, oh, that fellow is an idiot, or something wrong. And then you just nip it in the bud, then it won't come in the speech. But what I found is that at times when we form an opinion about a person or a situation, and we have not spoken about it, but it's an opinion, he or she is like that, and it remains over there. And if it remains, at times during certain circumstances, there's a tendency to it come out in the form of speech. We may express that opinion, verbally. But if I have nipped it in the bud, means nipped it at the thought level, thought will arise, intellect will show, thought will arise. But if I am able to counter it with the other's gnan and just erase it by saying he's innocent or whatever, then it won't even come out in my speech, even if I wanted to come out. Although this kalam does not talk about mind, speech, and action, man, vachan, kaya, like we have it in the first 2 kalams, not to hurt any words, you go by mind, body, speech. So it doesn't come out here. That has not spelled it out so much. But I found that essentially the crux goes into speech level over here. May I not speak ill about somebody. So one of the ways to do that was to nip it in the bud. No matter the thought arises, counter it with the gnan, whatever it may be, and it won't come out as speech. So that was one of my personal experience, which I have discovered for myself, of course. Then the other thing that came up to my mind was, if I were to contrast it with the third kalam, because the third kalam also talks of the same thing, avarna vada prada vinay. So, but that is for the monks, teachers, and acharyas. So those are the spiritually renounced people, spiritually persons on the path of moksha, elevated souls, you can, if you may say so. The same thing Dada has put in day-to-day practice or day-to-day parlance, that I must also not be doing the same thing, avarnada prada vinay, for worldly people. It's for worldly people, whether live, whether dead, present, or absent. So here that avarnava thing, aparad thing comes. I know he's such a good person, but I should not criticize. There it was doing viradhana for a spiritually enlightened person. So this was the sort of contrast or comparison with the third kalam that had come to my mind. And the other way also, one is, as I mentioned, to nip it in the bud. The other way to enforce this kalam, if I may say so, is one of the ways is, what if you are present with the same person against whom I'm getting a negative thought or I'm criticizing thought? If you were present, would I be saying like this? I may be saying it in his absence, would I be saying in his presence? So that also helps it to, at times, not every time, but at times helps to rein in our tendency to talk ill about somebody. And one other push that I found was that see the positive. See the positive qualities in the other person. See the positive qualities in the I'm seeing something negative. I'm seeing a shortcoming. I'm seeing some fault. So the best way to counteract it is to also see the positive. So I'm balancing out. That is the true essence of our nowadays, to balance the negative with the positive. If I see a fault or a negative trait, then I should also see his positive qualities. And in my mind, I am, or in my vision, I'm balancing out that this thing. So basically, I'm assisting myself to be vitrag for that person. Otherwise, I will have a little bit of disgust for that person, a little bit of dvesh for that person. But if I balance it out, that dvesh will also get erased and the kalam also gets enforced. Maybe essentially it's basically we are becoming vitraga, we are becoming equanimous basically. So these are two things I felt which could help perhaps, yeah. Ek minute, huh? And as I was saying that the world is hypocrisy and Dada Bhagwan used the word polampol or hollow. This is the times Dada Bhagwan had discovered when he was very young that it's all a show business, or just widows were crying when one husband of a lady died, and then he found it's all a drama. They had a wheel of the sari over here and they're beating the chest, and then just a drama of talking, of wailing and crying and shedding tears. And everywhere he discovered it's the same thing. So if we keep this in mind, that it's a hollow world, number one. Number two, it's temporary. All these situations are temporary because our life itself is temporary. In that case, we won't be too critical of a person's shortcomings. We won't be too critical of a shortcut because it's all hollow. So don't take it easy. Don't even take the praises easy at face value, and don't take it the criticisms also at face value, because everything is hollow. So this was one of the things that came up when you said hypocrisy. Other thing, very rightly you people discussed that if you become more heartily in our behaviors, then this will not be there. So just a thought that came to my mind was that because what has happened is of late in the modern times, we have become very materialistic. Money is earned very much. Everybody is hankering for materialistic pleasures. People want gadgets, car, mobile, clothes, whatever. And happiness is imbibed in materialistic gains. and sense gratifications, eating good food, watching movies, etc. Because of the tendency worldwide, a good person gets cut into. A young guy going in college is not exposed to anything, but everybody doing Facebook, Instagram, he gets pulled into Facebook, Instagram, social media, in short. So the environment is now becoming materialistic, sense gratification. So this is giving rise to enhanced ego and enhanced intelligence. The intellect is getting more and more sharpened by this. He's got bigger car, I want a bigger car. There's a lot of comparison and competition. So a lot of push to the intellect has happened or is happening in the present moment, which was not there, say 30, 40 years ago, maybe 50 years ago. Money was not there so freely available. So the source of happiness was human comfort, empathy for people, love and affection for people. That was the source of happiness, you see. So everything was heart-based. People would have if someone fell ill, he would have a care and concern for his well-being from the bottom of the heart. Today, it is just a WhatsApp message, get well. It's not heart, it's the intellect. But everybody in a WhatsApp, if someone is dead, everyone says, may his soul rest in peace. Everyone just mechanical say, may his soul is rest in peace. Sometimes some messages just simply get forwarded. Wrong things also happen. So the crux is, essentially it was heart-based because there was not so much of money, and that's where we do not have this hollowness and care and concern and criticism, maybe perhaps. So this is one of the ways of why we have become more egocentric or intellectic and not heart-based. And if we understand this and take a conscious decision to become heart-based, it's hollow world, but heart, then maybe it will aid us in the implementation of this 8th Kalam, in the terms of we'll be less critical of people because I become heart-centric. And third way of countering this is, first thing was body was present, second, see the positive, and third thing is that ultimately with the others cannot, because of the ultimately whatever that person is doing is discharge prakriti. It is discharge mind, body, speech, which is in action. So how can I hold him responsible now? Now he is wrong, but this is to counteract my judgmental tendency to judge him right and wrong by saying no, it is his discharge prakriti. So these 3 tips will help us in that, being non-judgmental, being non-critical, or not to criticize people. So this is just what I have to share. Jai Sachit.
Okay. We'll go Deepakanji and then Lalita Ben. Deepakanji and then Lalita Ben.
Yeah, Jai Sachidanand. I understand that by all these 9 code of conduct, Dada has given us kind of sieve how we strain tea before serving it to people. In the same way, we are so much used to this kind of living, and we have lived our life like that. So by following the 9 diamonds, this 9 code of conduct, it naturally brings or strains our mistakes in these regards, especially all the other 9, all the 9 columns are meant for that. But then with this column, with this code, we start straining, removing our mistakes. It brings a kind of vigilance within us that this mistake is also committed by us all these years, had been committing, and somehow we must stop. Otherwise, we are contradicting ourselves. On one side, we are after happiness, we want to be happy, and on the other side, this business is going on and on and on and on. So, with this, the idea is it acts as a strainer. It removes these mistakes within us, and otherwise, these mistakes would go unaddressed, uncorrected. And our goal that we want to be happy will never be achieved, because on one side we continue committing such mistakes, and on the other side we keep desiring and we want happiness. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Sacha. Lalita-ben?
No, I just wanted to make a comment that I think the female of the species, women especially, are hardwired for this. It's just second nature to them to gossip, to just talk about other people, relevant or irrelevant. And I think more so, there's more pratikraman in this kalam, as far as I'm concerned, because I've done it. Like I said, it's just, I think I'm hardwired that way. That's my observation.
Deepakanandji, you in comment?
No, that's true, very true, absolutely true. And I believe if someone becomes aware of this mistake, then the idea is we are living as if everything is fine, everything is good, everything we are doing right, we are going in the right direction. But Dada has opened this vision within us that these mistakes are being committed, and we are contradicting ourselves, and this contradiction must stop. See, like how you have so modestly revealed this, that this is very common in with women, but true, it's all connected with body. But also one more thing I would like to say, as Dada has said, any man, or if men are also doing that, then that is also a feminine characteristic within that man. So it is not that men don't have feminine characteristics. But this is very common, as you have said rightly. But when this is there in man, then it is that feminine characteristic within him which is making him talk or deal like that. So we must, uh, focus on this matter and start cleansing ourselves. Jai Satchidanand.
Yes.
Jai Sachidanand. Okay, a common observation, like you said, both of you, Pulinanandji, Deepakanandji, when we meet people, or we go to a meeting, or we go to some places where there interaction going, and coming after that, there's always tendency to, talk about this happened, that person. There's always a tendency to talk about that. So how do you deal with that? Pulinanandji?
No, but same thing, the same thing, what I feel is also see the positive, and maybe the discharge part. And you know what, one other thing that could perhaps help is if we are able to talk without rag dvesh or without attachment and abhorrence, that and we are what, we only talk about his behavior and not he as a person. This is done like this, but this could have been done like this. In this aspect he's done good things, but this aspect, this could be done like that. Maybe that could be a neutral way of talking, where it is necessary to talk in the interest of the work or the company or whatever, where it is necessary in the interest of the organization or the scenario or the family. If it's not necessary, just leave it. Because we have the gnan, we can leave it. Outside people, it's very difficult. They have to do a purusharth.
No,
We can leave it that it is a discharge. Huh?
You're talking about ourselves, because we have a tendency to do that,
So then we have to only, one of the other things, as I said, was recognize that it is his discharge prakriti that is doing it. So although it may slip out of our tongue and we may have sent it even in a lighter mode, back of the mind we are very clear it is his discharge, he is innocent. Basically, if we see him innocent, or in our mind we judge him, we know that he is innocent, it's fine. Essentially, it is all these columns are to cleanse our file number 1, to cleanse our, to be non-judgmental, to be vitrag, to be equanimous. So it is for our this thing. Why? Because we have brought by way of discharge the opposite, that to criticize and so it is our inner cleansing that is of more importance, and that can be done by these 2-3 things, innocent and discharge and whatever.
Yeah.
And in case it has happened, the Pratikaman is the answer. Pratikaman, Pratikaman is the solution. Pratikaman, and again repeat that, may I get the strength not to criticize or whatever.
Right. Correct.
So Pratikaman is asking us strength. In fact, it's a very much ongoing process till our awareness is enhanced one step or one level ahead, whereas where this gets substituted. So this is a long-term project. It's a long-term project.
Yep.
Continuous asking of the strength, increasing the awareness, doing pratikraman, again strength, and slowly, we will get the right vision.
Yeah.
And will be non-judgmental, non-critical. Yeah. Yes.
Deepakanandji?
Here, I would like to highlight, like the way Dada has said, that our life is totally in the hands of the cosmic power, natural cosmic power of Vyavasthit. And what we have brought along with us, it keeps coming out like that when we come across in different situations. So with the help of this Kalam, we become aware. At the same time, we start correcting ourselves. So this is how it starts working, and it will make our ourselves normal and perfect. I wanted to highlight that this was going unaddressed, undetected, and it was going on and on. But with this Kalam, it helps us correct ourselves. So it's like something is normal, and over and above these abnormalities there. But the moment the abnormality is removed or is not there, then normality will, will remain. Jai Satchidanand.
Shaila Ben? Yeah, you can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Jai Satchidanand Deepakanandji, Jai Satchidanand Pulinanandji, Jai Satchidanand Mahatmas. Yeah, very similar. I wanted to say something very similar to what Lalitaji said. This is invariably whenever a group of people get together, there's always talk, not necessarily criticism, but there'll always be comments. They'll be commenting on others. It's very common, especially amongst ladies. And Pratikaman, when it comes to people we know and relatives or even friends and all that, because we know that what we're doing is wrong. But what happens when you're like social media, for instance, or even the news? We keep all the time we're hearing, there's something, whenever we open the thing, we know there's some news about some politician, for instance, and we immediately we form a judgment, right? We are always criticizing whatever's happening. We have opinions about whatever we are being bombarded with in social media. So how do we stop all that? Because that is, anytime even we open the TV, we are going to be seeing such stuff. At least when it comes to people we know, relatives and all that, we are aware and we have become more alert about all that after getting the gyan. But these kind of things, I even recently know that we are in politics, so there are a lot of talk about politicians and everything. So we do end up criticizing the policies and everything, no? So I was wondering, is it also, should we be doing particularly to that?
Deepakanandji?
Yes.
We have a lot of opinions.
Our life is nothing but to keep deciding fresh, right decisions, and with those fresh decisions, all our past mistakes and present mistakes which are being committed, they get highlighted and we start correcting them. So this correcting process is very important. So making right decision, it will follow with the correct cleansingness. Ultimately, it will make us normal and perfect. And most importantly, it will happiness that we are seeking, we will experience that. Jai Satchidanand.
Pulinanandji?
See, as you said about news, very simple. Basically, we are enjoying it, you see. We like it, we are interested in it. This is the fodder of the intellect. This is the fodder of the intellect. So it enjoys debates. He said this, he said that, he's right, he's wrong. So understand, it is my buddhi or my intellect which is enjoying it. So now you have to be aware, what is there to enjoy in this? What is there to enjoy in this? If Dada's Gnan says, how will that politician, that actor, that critic or cricketer or whatever the news is, how whatever he or she has done, how will it impact you? How will it impact your moksha? How will it impact your worldly living? How will it impact your happiness? Zero. Then why are you going hammer and tongs on that? Just watch it like a tree or like anything nature. Allow it to come and go. It impacts us if you are because we are interested, plain and simple. If you're not interested, it won't impact. So we have to reduce our interest, be superfluous. I'm not saying stop, but be superfluous. Like the newspaper, read and just leave it at that. He or she is doing like that. And because what happens is, at times, whatever that politician, actor, or cricketer, or whatever he or she has done, somewhere it is aligning with our thought processes, our likes and dislikes. Either it's aligning or it's not aligning. And that's where our intellect plays in a part. So we also get engrossed and criticize or in favor of the person. He's doing good for the nation. He's doing good for the nation. Arey, what good for the nation? It's bad, is bad, bad.
Right.
Because it aligns with my thinking. What we call as potapano, my likes and dislikes. So that pops up. Our inner likes and dislikes pops up. Sometimes, we are not happy with the way things are shaping out in our personal lives, worldly lives, relative lives. And then we see someone doing it and succeeding. Then we like that thing. Oh, he succeeded. So then we get opinionated. He's good.
Yes.
Somewhere it's a reflection of inner satisfaction or dissatisfaction, especially the dissatisfaction part of it, So I'm just trying to trace the roots of why we get hooked up into that judgmental mode in TV or newspaper or social media.
Yes.
These are causes which I have identified at my personal level. I have not said this.
Yeah.
Just doing a little bit of research within. So this is where I found the cause lies, you see. So if I align that I am safe, people who are really happy and they're not even bothered about others' mistakes.
Yes, they won't be. Very true. Yeah.
So I have to increase my inner happiness, then I'll not be bothered and it won't impact me.
Yes.
A person who is dissatisfied with his personal life will be very critical of others. There'll be a factor of jealousy also popping in.
Yes.
Very common with women.
Yeah.
Anybody little 2 steps ahead in speech or in looks or in clothes or anything, and you just won't bear it, and then you will run down the other person in the absence among the other ladies. So it is a jealousy factor which is there inbuilt. It's there in everybody, it's there in men also, but it's a shade predominant in women. So jealousy is also one of the factors. Inner discontent, our intellect, our likes, our potapana, likes, dislike. These are the which engage us or pull us into the social media or TV. So if I correct the things or shortcomings within me, then these things will not impact me, or I will not get drawn into it. I will listen to the news, listen to the item, and just leave it at that. That is called being non-judgmental. You don't have to opinionate yourself, good, bad. Judgmental is basically your own opinion, good or bad, right or wrong. So this is the way to be non-judgmental, to just observe and go. So these are the inner factors which we have to watch.
Yes.
And one other thing we can tell ourselves is a broader vision we can give ourselves is if it is say political event or politics or good for the country, good for the state, or good for people's welfare and all that stuff, tell them this is all history. I mean, this is all this is all part of nature's role play. Look at the larger canvas of India's history, that years ago India was a very big very nice country and all well developed. Then it was invaded by Muslims. They ruled for about say 300 400 years roughly, I'm saying. Then the Britishers came, and then that was the period of downfall for India. And then we got freedom, and then Indian politicians were very good. Then there was a little mismatch, and then the corruption then came in, and then now a little bit of corruption is going on. So this is a broader canvas of the country's well-being. It was good, it has gone down, again it will come up. And that I said it's going to come up, become the center of the world, or top of the world. So just tell yourself that this is the broader canvas of history. Why are you getting into it?
Yes.
That you have no control on that thing. And why are you being judgmental for that thing? You have no control on that politician, no control on it. Then why are you being judgmental? It is not even impacting your tea of cup. It's not impacting your food. It's not impacting you. You have no control. What business you have got to comment on that?
Yes.
I narrate one short experience with Dada Bhagwan. It happened, and I was in Baroda. Rasikaka's house. He was on the second floor, and on the first floor, Rasikaka, that is, Kamda's younger brother. They were discussing something about some politician and his business and all. Somehow Dada must have come to know of it. He was on the second floor. This was on the first floor, and then he called him up. And Dada said, "Has that person given you any contract to talk about him? Why are you talking about him so much? He just nipped it in the bud." And then, yes, it was an alertness that why are you unnecessarily talking about someone? This just so this is the way we will have to rein in our intellect. It's the intellect that is getting impacted, you see.
Yes.
So these are the few pointers of reining our intellect. Inner factors, external factors, things out of our control, not impacting us. Why? What business have you got? In fact, we should tell the same intellect, why don't you focus inside? You're talking about others' good and bad. You look at your good and bad. See how you can improve. That is how the mind, body, speech can improve. How you can focus on that. Why are you focusing on other things? I'm not saying shun TV. I'm not saying shun newspaper. I'm saying be superfluous on that. And one of the ways of being more focused this side is on the inner side. If a person is more focused inside, obvious offside will become superfluous. Yeah, I'm discontent inside, and then I'll be busy looking outside and people's talks and people's goals and find happiness in either running them down.
Yes, yes,
The
very
sense of criticism, the sense of gossip and criticism in men or women, but let us say women, is I am a shade dissatisfied, shade inferior in whatever way, clothes, looks, talks, whatever. So I try to elevate my unhappiness by making others small in my eyes. By criticizing a person, I'm running him down, or by running the person down, I'm elevating myself up. Oh, I'm better than the person, or better than the person. So to bring ourselves up, we have a tendency to run the other person down. I'm just trying to highlight a reason of criticizing. If I'm happy, I don't have to run down anybody.
Yes.
Because I'm content. I'm trying to make the person faltu and I become good.
Yes, very true. Very true. Yeah.
So these are some factors which
yes. Yes, I think it's very important.
So that is the answer to your that social media impact and newspaper impact.
Yes, to remain superfluous. Yes, I understand.
Yes.
Jai Sachidanand. Thank you so much.
Jai Sachidanand. Miraben?
Yes, Jai Sachidanand, Deepakanandji, Pulinanandji, and all the Mahatmas there. Jai Sachidanand. My question is more on Dada science. So Dada science is such that this Pudgal, this body that Meera is in, which you cannot see on screen right now, but this body that Meera is in, the the Jnana that Dada has given us has stopped any form of charge karma, correct? And now all that this body is experiencing via speech, sight, all the indriyas that come are all the paramanus of the discharge karma. So the Jnana of Dada is that it is breaking all of this warehouse of discharge karmas that is coming from multiple generations, and it is coming. So Meera, so as the Shuddhatma in this interim place that this Meera and me as Shuddhatma is in, I watch everything. But sometimes as I'm watching my speech, I am not seeing what I'm seeing. All of the indriyas are not coming together. Does that make sense? I'm sitting in a car now, but I am touching something, I am hearing something, I'm seeing something. But does Shuddhatma shine light on everything at once? Or is it only after the Shuddhatma acknowledges, like I'm now acknowledging this Meera speaking, this discharge is done. Meera's mind is doing something, I'm seeing that discharge is done. Can you explain that science to me so that I can properly do? Or is that something I should not even be thinking about and at all?
Pulinanandji?
Sorry, if my question is so long and convoluted, I apologize.
No, I'm trying to understand the gist of the question.
Aha, see, exactly. Yes, exactly. So in this moment, in this Meera moment, in this infinitesimal moment that this Pudgal body is existing, this Meera speaking. Meera, I see myself speak. I see this Meera's body.
Let me summarize. Whatever I've got.
Ha.
So what you're saying is, Meera's mind-body speech is discharged. It is doing
Correct.
many things at a time. It is watching, talking, listening, doing many things. Now, should the light of Shuddhatma be seeing all this at a time, or should I doing one at a time, allow it to go?
Correct. See, that is perfect. Thank you. That is it.
Okay.
That is
So
exactly
so I've understood the question.
Exactly correct. Thank you.
So it's right. You see, the light of the pure soul is infinite. It watches everything together. Maybe our capacity has not been built to see all this, but I'm very sure if we are in a reasonably heightened state of awareness, in a reasonably heightened state of awareness, you'll be able to see all everything at a time. At times, when doing Vidhi, sometimes I can see the thought has gone there, chit is gone there, and all these are happening together. They are not aligned necessarily. They are all diverse or dispersed. Thought here, chit here, speech here, But I can see all that together.
Yeah.
And then I bring it back in focus.
Correct. Okay.
So while driving also, all multiple things will happen. I will see something, you will hear some music or horn, then you may be talking and everything will happen. So the soul has the capacity to observe everything of Meera. That is file number 1. Mind, body, mind, intellect, chit, speech, action, everything can be observed all at one go.
Okay.
It has the capacity. Whether we are able to do it or not is secondary. And I'm not saying you should or we should do it. I'm not saying we should do it. It is a result of increased awareness.
Okay.
As our Jagrati, as our spiritual or Atma Jagrati or soul awareness increases, this will happen.
It's a given.
It'll happen. It'll always. Today, maybe I'm able to see only my thought. I'm not able to see what. Or if I want to see only my speech, I'm not able to see the action. Maybe I'm seeing just 2 things at a time. But as the awareness increases, I will be able to see all the dimensions of file number 1, inside and outside, Antaskaran and Bayakaran.
Okay.
That will happen.
So
and then as a step ahead, then as we still go ahead, then our chitta will become so pure that then the diverse portfolio will also cease. You'll be so focused on your activity, then your mind, like everything will be only over there. It won't be wandering out.
Okay.
At a later stage. At a later stage. So then you'll be very focused. If you're writing, driving, working, then your mind, everything will be just over there. Your chitta will be there, your mind will be there. You won't have any other faltu, any other
Mm,
thoughts. Or if they
mm,
come out, they briefly just come and go.
mm,
So that being in the present, as we said, the entire
mm,
understand will be in the present moment of
mm.
what the body or actions are taking place. So
I have, okay.
as we keep coming in the present, if I'm eating, then I'm eating. If I'm driving, then I'm driving. Then I won't get other thoughts at that point of time because it is focused over there. You see,
full focus, full focus. That
I,
focus I don't have yet, or
so that
Meera
will
feels that is not right. Shuddhatma has it. Meera feels she doesn't have it.
Meera
That
may not have it. It is a Shuddhatma who see all this. Meera may have all diverse, but that
but
also will see the more and more discharge file number 1 gets pure. The more the chitta becomes pure, all this focus of file number 1 will also increase.
Okay.
One is the discharge focus, that I am focusing on the task at hand. Say writing, computer, listening, exercise, whatever. You're jogging, for example. But your chitta, then you'll be just over there only. And we are talking of this Manvachan Kaya, the mind body speech focus, number 1. And number 2, other thing, the Atma Jagrati or this soul awareness of observing that Meera is doing this. These are 2 different dimensions.
Yes. Yes.
So what you're saying is of the first part where you have to be in the focus, where everything is scattered.
Everything. No, and the thing, the issue I have is, or issue, I shouldn't even say because it is not, Meera is not the Meera is like just the Pudgal that's just sitting there. The Jagrati, I want, I crave that Jagrati more and more, but each time, sometimes it comes and I am blissful. But then this wave comes, right? This, I don't know, something comes, this cloud wave, whatever. And then it comes back. So, but how can this cloud wave not come? Is that Vivasthit that's coming? Or is it just the cloud wave is coming that is like, that focus is gone? And
this cloud is part of discharge. This is discharge karma, which is bringing this cloud.
Okay.
It's a sort of a temporary covering on the Atma Jagrati, temporary. So this cloud is part of discharge, so we have to be aware of it, and then see, and then it will come and go, and then if required, if it's a dense fog or dense cloud, then see how can we thin it down, reduce the density by which whatever or whatever Purusharth, depending on what the fog is.
Okay, thank you, Pulinanandji, because this Meera was scared. Meera was scared. I saw the fright of Meera, and I've even written to Deepakanandji about this because that fear is so profound. I've lost everything. I don't know what is happening. I cannot see. I cannot focus. I know it's there. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? But that is also wrong. I should just.
It's part of the karma. The karma, the force of the karma is more than my Jagrati, Atma Jagrati. So we feel lost. Moment that force will subside, then this will balance out.
Okay. Jai Sachidanand.
Deepakanandji, you want to comment?
Big comment. You see this self, back self. If there is any mess, in the self, who has done it? It is myself. Who has done it? I have done it.
Yes.
When the light, this light illumines everything at a time. Okay, but when I start cleansing the shelves, will I be doing all the cleaning at the same time or one shelf at a time?
One shelf at a time.
Also,
Mm.
when the self was mishandled,
Mm.
or everything was mishandled at a time or one at a time?
Mm.
What is it?
Mishandled. Oh. Okay. Yes. Yes.
It
And
was
that I
one at
cannot
a time.
answer. Yes.
It was one at a time.
Ah.
So now when you start cleansing,
Ah.
although this light illumines everything at a time, but
Mm.
our chit is focused one thing at one time.
Okay.
So when I'm
Okay.
looking at you, I'm not looking at
Mm.
Pulinanandji. When I'm looking at Pulinanandji, I'm not looking at you. When I'm looking at, you understand?
Yes. Yes.
So what we do,
Yes.
one thing at a time,
Mm.
and once that is cleaned,
Mm.
what we do? Okay, when we made it back, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So when it was mishandled,
Mm.
this rack was mishandled, it remained bad. Then this, then this, then this. Now when
Ah.
I start cleaning, now
Ah.
this light is illuminating everything at a time.
Yes.
But now I have taken shelf number 1, I have cleaned it.
Mm.
What I do, I will always keep it nice now. That's what we do,
Mm.
Pratikraman.
Mm.
We do
Mm.
Pratikraman of the past mistake.
Mm.
Now there are 1,000 mistakes.
Mm.
Can you see all those 1,000 mistakes at a time?
No.
Is the soul light of soul,
Mm.
doesn't it illuminate all the mistakes?
Yes. Yes.
But where is your focus?
Only one thing.
One
Correct.
at a time, not
Mm.
one thing,
Mm.
one at a time.
Time.
So what we do,
That.
we focus on one, we correct them, go to the next.
Mhm.
And we say that I will not commit that
Repeat.
mistake again.
Correct.
So it is
Okay.
like I have cleaned the self number 1,
Mm.
and I resolve that I'll keep it clean,
Mm.
and I go to the second one.
Mm.
So now the first one is not going to get bad unless I do it.
Mm.
You
Okay.
understand?
Yes. Yes.
Unless I do it
Yes.
again.
Yes.
I mean, unless I mishandle it again. So
Yes.
this is how once it is cleaned, it
Ah.
is not going to get bad again unless I go and mess around with the false self.
Okay. I don't want that. Yes. Correct. I shall not.
You
Okay.
understand?
Yes.
It
Yes.
is like
Yes.
our put girl, Prakriti,
Mm.
is in the hands of Vyavasthit Shakti, the natural cosmic power. You
Mm.
don't need, if you have eaten,
Mm.
it digests and it works of its own.
Mm.
But if you are not eaten rightly,
Mm.
then it creates problem. So
Mm.
you don't focus on its normal working,
Mm.
but you will definitely have your focus on its abnormality, because your body needs attention on that abnormality because you have not done something rightly.
Ah. Mm. Mm.
You understand that?
Yes. Yes.
And once
Yes.
that abnormality is corrected,
Mm.
the body will function naturally. You don't need to do anything.
Correct. Correct.
When you're
Correct.
working in the kitchen,
Mm. Correct.
things get bad at different times, at different places.
Yes. Yes.
When you start now, that light is illuminating the whole mess in the kitchen.
Mm.
When you start cleansing,
Yes.
then you will have to start at one thing at a time. And once everything gets addressed and cleaned, your
Mm.
kitchen is clean.
Yes.
Although the
Yeah.
light is illuminating every mess at the same time, you can handle
Okay.
only one thing at a time.
Yes. 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 So
You understand?
methodically,
So
you're
you
saying
don't have to
that.
you don't have to worry about that, because you have created this mess in past several generations.
True.
But Dada has said, when we have this knowledge so profound, so
Mm.
powerful, you can cleanse the whole mess in its idealist way in just 1 hour. 1 hour. But we are not able to remain focused for that 1 hour. You understand? So he said, ideal is next life you will get freed. Next life you will be freed. But he said, you're not going to remain that vigilant and rightly, as per my agnas. So 2-3 lives it will take, but job will be done. Because once corrected, there is no way that it gets bad again, because that egoism is not there. Previously, that egoism was there. I will correct the past ones and create more mistakes again. So it was going on and on and on. But now, it is not getting bad. Whatever mistakes were committed, you are correcting them. New mistakes are not getting committed. So it's like the work is done once for all. And then the whole Prakriti Pudgal is corrected totally. And there is no new mistakes are committed because the egoism is not there. Then you're done with it. So then you don't have to do anything. It will live naturally like Mahavira. He attained absoluteness at the age of 42. He lived for next 30 years. He passed away and attained Nirvana at the age of 72. So for 32 years, he didn't have to do anything because he had done the job. It was a natural body which survived for 30 years in its absoluteness, and so many people were benefited. You understand?
Yes.
Until
Yes.
we attain absoluteness, that is Keval Gyan, you have to do all the corrections.
Yes.
Also, Mahavira had suffering, extreme suffering, even after attaining absoluteness, which is not normal. Once you attain an absoluteness, then nothing remains practically. Only natural bodily suffering, what you call Vedniya karma. But that doesn't bother him because it doesn't block your knowledge or vision. Obstruct. It doesn't obstruct. It is not obstructing karma. You understand?
Yes.
So
Yes.
he lived for next 30 years without trespassing into the body. Body lived naturally. In that state, he doesn't even have to eat physically. No physical food. So natural. So no physical food. No going to the restroom. That Puran and Kalan becomes very natural. They don't have to eat physically. You understand?
Yes.
That physical food gradually reduces, quantity reduces as cleanses himself. And finally, when it attains absoluteness, that is Keval Gyan, then
Done.
You are free, body is free. And that body, all dependence of the body is cleared. The connectivity, karmic connectivity is there, only that is there. And what remains is the suffering part, extreme suffering part, especially as an exception for Lord Mahavira. Did you understand?
So yes, that was his discharge karma? His.
Yes, that was his discharge, but normally such discharge karmas are not there. But even after absoluteness, after attaining absoluteness, he had those suffering, extreme suffering. But he remained unperturbed because there was no meddling with the relative. Relative had become independent, but that even in that independent relative, these extreme sufferings were there even after attaining absoluteness, which is considered an exception. So the idea is everything happens one at a time. Like when I'm looking at you, in general it's fine. But I'm looking at your eyes, That time I'm not looking at your glasses. I'm not looking at your hair. When I look at your hair, I don't look at your nose. When I look at your nose, I don't look at your ears. But there is persistence of vision. Dr. Lalita Ben and Dr. Aruna Ben can say that persistence of vision creates a picture for me of the whole individual. But it is like it is created and it is held there because of persistence of vision. I'm not seeing everything at the same time. My chit goes and come back, goes and come back. And that's how the whole picture is created. I mean, I don't see this when I see that photo, then I'm not looking at Deepak. I'm looking here, I'm not looking at Pulinanandji. I'm looking at Pulinanandji, I'm not looking at Reddy Dada. Here.
Understood. Jai Sachidanand. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for understanding my speech, and thank you for understanding the question, and thank you for giving me perfect answer. Jai Sachidanand.
Okay, Jai Sachidanand. Now our time is up, so we will do 3 months. Before that, we will be having a long pause here because next week is Dada's Punyatithi and then the Yatra. So we'll meet again on February the 13th now. Okay, in the meantime, please continue with all the Kalams and especially focus on 8. Okay, right? Deepakanandji, Pulinanandji?
Perfect, absolutely. The crux, actually, the effect of 8 columns is the 9th one. So we can focus on the 8th one all these days and then finally talk about the 9th one. Right, Pulinanandji?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So Deepakanandji, please do 3 months. Everybody, please follow.
Namo Vitragai.
Namo Vitra.
Vitragai.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajrayanam.
Namo
Vajrayanam.
Namo Loe Savva Sahunam.
Namo Loe Sabba Sahunam.
Eso Panchana Mukharo.
Eso
Panchana Mukharo.
Sava Pava Pranasano.
Sabba
Pava Pranashanam.
Mangalanam Cha Savesim.
Mangalanam Cha Savesham.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai
Jai
Sachidanand.
Sachidanand,
Jai
Deepakanandji,
Sachidanand
Pulinanandji,
Pulinanandji. Jai
Sachidanand,
Sachidanand Deepakanandji.
Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand Mahatma.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand.